I'm not anti Ravens though. Like I'm really not.
Like once again,
I was a
you
big
reveal your character.
I was a big first of all, bro, I played linebacker. So for me to play linebacker and not love
If you're a Browns fan, you have to hate the
Lewis.
Ravens. You can admire Ray Lewis. He doesn't play anymore.
Ray Lewis.
You can admire him from a suit or his motivational videos.
Okay.
But you got like I like Lamar. I don't mind Harbaugh, but I don't want to see the Ravens win it. So that's just the way it is.
But they're also AFC North, bro. Like if the Browns and also
another reason why I don't want them to.
What he's saying, it kind of speaks towards the power of the division.
Yeah, so it's like they win, it's like we low key second place. In your mind, you can say you can say the Browns are second place.
So remember when the Mavericks beat the Heat?
Okay.
And fans were calling them the cat. They were like playing off the Cavs, and the Mavs like the cat.
The Mavaliers.
Like the Mavaliers, whatever.
Yeah.
Mavaliers. There you go.
We didn't win. We didn't win that.
I understand what you're saying, but I just kind of feel like we kind of connected.
They did used to be our team.
And that's our team.
Which is why I'm not supposed to like them.
That's
and
our team too.
Your your allegiance is very strong.
My allegiance. Hey, listen, I'm not loyal to any team because first of all, you know how I feel about the Browns. They kicked me out of practice, so I don't care.
Oh.
We're getting more Browns.
Yeah.
Right.
They kicked me out of practice, so you know I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
We live?
Yeah, we live.
All right, let's talk about it. Can we like a dim the light moment and just focus on you?
Focus on me because my bitterness towards the Browns for kicking me out of practice. Oh man, I mean it is what it is, man. First of all, I snuck into a workout. Right. They was having a workout, you know what I'm saying, and it's cool. It's me and my good friend AB, both Division I football players, both legit, can ball. I felt that all we needed was opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So the opportunity was there. They was having some open tryout for, I think it was a couple of other players that they were kind of looking at. Mm-hmm. So we was like, all right, we about to come in. We about to sneak up in this thing. You know what I'm saying? So we found out about it through the newspapers. So we just basically came in, act like we own, like we just owned the place. We came in, we had our bags and stuff. We was like, hey man, we here for the workout. They was like, oh yeah, all right, come here. Security walked us down there. We went to the room and stuff, got our stuff. We was in there, you know what I'm saying? So we on the field. We stretching, we warming up. You know what I'm saying? We getting ready. I'm like, bro, I'm about to run the fastest 40.
Bro, you had already broke a sweat?
Man, bro, I was already sweating. I did my karaoke's. I'm in there. I'm ready, bro. I'm ready, bro. I'm about to go hard. I got my little DVD on me in case they want to know, they want to see some film. So I got my DVD from college and stuff. Like, hey, and I think I had some arena games on there. So I'm like, yo, boom, check me out. You know what I'm saying? So the guy comes up. He's like, who are you?
You got that tap on the shoulder?
He like, so who are you? I'm like, what's up, sir? My name is James Abrams, man. I heard about the workout. Here's my DVD. Dude sipping coffee. He like, unfortunately, we can't let you work out. And I was like,
you said you could try out for a while.
I was like, he just was like, no, we can't let you work out. I'm like, sir, man, I'm here. I'm a D1 athlete. I play arena. It's my boy. Come on, man. Like, give us a shot. And he was like, sir, we can't. And so then he was like, security. He was like, security. And they came and got us up out of there. But look, though, security guard respected us, though. He was like, hey, man, I respect, kind of showed us love and just, you know what I'm saying, scores out. But he respected our, little hustle. But, yeah, we had to get up out of there, though.
How does that process work? Sneak, because that's not the first time I've heard of anybody sneaking into a Browns tryout camp, whatever.
I mean, you just kind of, know the dates. You kind of, know, certain things are happening, and then
you're missing a key step. The first step is you have to at least remotely look like you're there. You're supposed to be there.
Right.
James looks like great. If I walked in there, they'd be like, "Are you part of the athletic trainers or something?"
Right. But it's so crazy because everything kind of comes full circle. I got the opportunity to be an actual Browns football player in the movie though.
Wow.
Which is funny.
Draft
day. So I played a Browns football player in draft day. And it was cool because I got to actually be in the locker room.
Did you meet anybody?
Where the Browns gear. Yeah, so I was on the Hayden, TJ Ward.
Okay.
Those guys. We was all linebackers.
Did you meet Kevin Costner?
I met Kevin Costner.
Oh,
Hey, yo, Kevin Costner is tall and fit. Like,
he?
yeah, I'm not thinking he can be an actor. And most actors are short, but he was like life size. Like,
Oh, he has like that prototypical quarterback size.
yeah,
like,
yeah, he looked real life size. I met Chadwick Boseman at the time too.
Oh yeah.
Chadwick Boseman was really, man, I tell you, he was the coolest dude, bro. The coolest dude. So I spent like 4 days filming with them. So we spent 4 days filming. So I was an Ohio State football player, and I was a Browns football player. they used me for both roles.
Nice,
So
nice.
Chadwick, we kind of got cool. I didn't act like we was BFFs, but we got cool, and he just invited me and a couple other guys out, and we ended up hanging out at Barley House.
Oh nice.
Barley House, and when we got done shooting the football scenes, we ended
Who
up
picked
hanging.
up the bill?
He did.
Nice.
Yeah, hell yeah, he did. He bought them bottles.
Right,
He
right.
bought them bottles. He was getting that real actor money. You know what
I
I'm
was
saying?
making sure he hit you up with one of those like rookie hazing
But
situations.
look though, I ain't go front. I was making over $700 a day.
Shooting.
That's that.
Yeah, I was doing $700 a day. 4 days of shooting, $700. I'm like, oh, that's we was eating.
To act like, something I do all the time.
I do all the time. Only thing was they had me on kickoff. You had to run on that field, and they shoot that scene. They shoot scenes about 20 times.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, this.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
I'm like, coach.
You were like, cut. Like, you can't say that. Cut. Lunch.
Hey, you get tap.
I need a sub.
So, they're like, let's do it again.
Onside kick.
And of course, the guys who shoot in the movie never played it down.
Oh yeah.
Never done anything athletic, so they don't know how tired we are. We down there, and I had to. So on kickoff, and I had to hit. You remember Steve Sanders?
Yeah. Yeah.
Steve Sanders. Yeah, I had to hit him like
He's a cat guy.
every time. Yeah, I had to hit
Or
him.
no, BG.
BG.
He went
He
to
played
Bowling
BG.
Green.
Had to hit him every time. So I was like, man, I'm exhausted. So I'm like, bro, we gonna fake on these last couple of hits. He's like, he's like, who you telling?
So if you could, are you visibly noticeable in
Yep.
any scenes?
Yep. And all the football scenes, I'm noticeable.
Me too.
And I'm noticeable on the last scene when they breaking it down. I'm the one like yelling, like, I had to be extra.
I mean, that's
I had to be
you.
extra.
Nice.
I wouldn't call it extra. That's
Right.
swag.
That's
Be
dope.
extra. But enough about me, man. Forget all that. You know what I'm saying?
Sheesh.
Damn, that's like 8 minutes, right? But shout out, we got my boy Brandon Player in here, quality work boxing coach. Man, hey, y'all give it up for BP. So BP in the building.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. How'd you get into boxing, and like where are your roots?
Man, so it's funny. It's nothing really drawn out. It's funny, but it's nothing really drawn out. In high school, you play fighting, sometimes real fighting, whatever. The janitor at the time there was a boxing coach at one of the recs in Cleveland, and he always used to say, "Man, y'all don't know what y'all doing, man. Y'all play fighting. You need to go somewhere where they really know how to fight." So, a couple of guys from the neighborhood, we took him up on his offer. We went on down there. Mind you, I'm about 15 or so. So, in boxing terms, it's not late, but it's not, early. It's not ideal. So, that's literally how I fell into boxing. I went up there, fell in love with it, and only about 2 to 3 of us stayed with it. And, I stayed with boxing for a while. At the time, I'm still playing baseball too. Baseball's my sport. So I played baseball, going to college, everything. Slowed down on boxing, kind of put it to the back burner. Never really said I'll leave it alone, but I just put it in the back. And things happened. I moved down south, and I can remember seeing this boxing gym. It's called Doraville Boxing Gym on the way to work, on the way to and back home from work. And I said, man, one day I'm just gonna go in there. And I said, when I go in there, I'm just gonna work out. I'm not gonna really ask for anything. Just work out. Just wanted to get the feel back because obviously I missed it. And a guy down there, he was training his son. He said, "You ever boxed before?" I said, "Yeah, but I never competed or anything. Just kind of did my thing until I, moved away or whatever." I said, "Man, I think I could work with you." So I said, "Okay." So yeah, man, I'm telling you, man, we in this hole in the wall now, but I'm gonna have this big nice gym, and you and my son go work. I got a couple other guys I'm working with. I said, yeah, okay, yeah. You know, just kind of not really brushing them off, but yeah, okay, you know, you don't gotta sell me a dream. And then, you know, I kept working with him and everything, and you know, he liked my style. I was easy to work with, and it was time. He said, "Man, I got the gym. Let's go." I got the gym. Let's go. So, yeah, man, I started, you know, training with him. I picked up the love for boxing, started competing finally, and man, I can remember I used to get my ass kicked on, man. Sorry if I'm cussing.
Are you good? We cuss on here.
But yeah, man, I used to get whooped on, but that was some of the most humbling experience that I had ever had, especially at the time. And you know, once again, you know, life happens. Ended up having to move back up to Cleveland. You know, basically a fresh start again. Once again, boxing's put on the back burner. And at this time, from what I learned from my coach down south was, his name was Lincoln Buzz, by the way. I learned how to approach the game from a cerebral standpoint, especially since he was a guy that made a lot of sense. He used to talk to you real raw, and you know, James can tell you now. that's
you saying that is hilarious because that's definitely your approach.
Yeah, man,
definitely your approach.
It's real raw, but it makes it easy to understand. So, you know, getting into the coaching game, I say I can make it understandable for an 8-year-old or an 80-year-old. That's it. I'm not trying to be the smartest man in the room because you end up confusing not only the person but yourself. So just make it real simple. And you know, I just started to grow, learning, working with different people because, you know, at the time I'm thinking, man, you know, I'm used to moving a certain way. I'm used to other boxers moving a certain way. But then when I started to make it a brand, it's like, dang, man, people really can't do what I can do or what other people around me can do. So I think that in itself made me a better coach because I had to stick to the fundamentals. And the fundamentals is what you can rely on. So the first thing you learn is what the first thing you can rely on. And man, even in the mix of competing, I always still wanted to coach. It was just something about teaching people and helping people that always stuck with me. And shoot, man, years down the line, here we are, man, making this thing happen. I've built guys from scratch. I'm talking about no boxing experience, some even no athletic experience. And then just watching these guys and girls grow as fighters, man, that's what really hits me and says like I'm in my purpose. Yeah.
I can appreciate. I'm actually I'm fascinated by individuals like yourself who can take what they've learned, their craft, and apply it to a young person or someone who's on the opposite side of life. Not on the opposite side of life, but you know what I mean, you know, older in age, from different experiences. That to me is a reflection of the mastery that you have, the craft that you have.
Oh, it's definitely a craft.
Yeah.
You use the key word, craft.
Now you said you got introduced to boxing when you were a teenager. Okay. Cleveland area?
Yeah, Cleveland area.
Okay.
So there's a rec, Thurgood Marshall rec out there off Huff. Yeah, that was my first boxing gym.
What's some of your experience with, like, I guess some of the younger people that you've worked with and some of the situations that they've come from? Like, are there kids that you've worked with that you could say, oh, I understand where you're coming from, similar situation?
Not as much because you know, when I was doing it, I was sneaking to boxing. My mom didn't know I was boxing until I was 19 years old. So you talking, you know, give or take 4 years. With the kids I work with now, all their parents, you know, sign up, and it's a thing that they either the kid wants to do it or the parent wants the kid to do it, and you know, in my case, hopefully it's mutual.
Yeah.
So I don't really run into situations like that. Like, man, dude, like I was literally stealing my mom's car ready to go do boxing. Like, so it's a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Shoot, you must have been good if you went with without it being known for 4 years boxing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I'd be like, if I came up with a bloody nose, my mind would probably be
Bruh, you know my story. Like I was older, and I started doing like mixed martial arts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just because like I don't know, being in corporate America, being the only like black guy in the office, it just gave me like anxiety for some reason. Like I don't know what that was, like doing presentations and stuff like that. So like I was a big fan of like Anderson Silva at the time. So I was like, I'm gonna go to this MMA gym and kind of like get grounded. Like that was kind of like my thoughts. Like I'm gonna get grounded through martial arts, kind of figure myself out. And I remember I started getting kind of good. I started sparring and doing my thing. So I'm like, all right. So I think like kind of like how strong stylists do. They like to do you. They like to get you signed up for like once you start sparring, they be like, okay, we're gonna do golden gloves. Then golden gloves do a jiu-jitsu tournament. Jiu-jitsu tournament, then you do an amateur wrestling match. Like it's like you gotta do all these disciplines before you kind of like get your first MMA match. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of like what we was doing. So like I was training for the golden gloves, and I came home and I had 2 black eyes, and my mom was like, "Baby, what? Come on, man." She ain't seen me, so but I was like, "Hey, I felt good because I actually was having a good week, like sparring week. I just, you know what I'm saying? I just had 2 black eyes. Like we had just been working a lot." She's like, "Babe, you got 2 degrees. You need to stop this right now." Da, da, da. Like I'm like, man, like dang, I'm like I'm so close, Mom, but you know, I kind of was like, all right, man, like I let it go, but. I let it go because I'm like, man, like, I saw, like, how some of the boxers, no disrespect, but they were kind of, like, struggling, like, just financially, like, I was just like, man. I can't, like, I can't really turn this into profit. I'm making, like, you know what I'm saying, $50K a year. I don't really want to lose my job. Like, I'm just like, all right, man, I kind of got what I wanted to get, but I'll never forget. I did gain a lot from boxing, but I will tell you, like, he must have been good because if him not to had like a bloody nose, no black eyes, no nothing, to get away with it.
Well, to be fair, okay, look, to be fair, I went to Kent State. I went to college at 17, so 2 years right there. The 2 years up until 17. Okay, I was doing okay, right? And then, you know, the other 2 years before I ended up leaving, you know, I'm in college, and then I ended up moving to Atlanta. So, yeah, she didn't find out until I was, like, back into boxing, and she said.
So, you've done Golden Gloves before, right?
Yes.
And you won, right?
Yeah, 2021.
What class was that? What weight class?
152.
152. So, you won Golden Gloves 2021. Wow, that's kind of recent.
Yeah. As an older guy.
As an older guy, yeah.
Did you see your business take off in a different way after that?
Yeah, I could say that. Because it adds, you know, a little bit more legitimacy to it. You know, even though when you listen to me talk about boxing, there's a lot of legitimacy there. It's something I could literally talk about all day. But you know, when people see you win and you know your name gets more familiar, your face gets more familiar around the community. It'll definitely make people say, let me see what's going on with you, you know.
So I'm curious. You said baseball.
Yeah.
Was your...
That was my first love, man.
Okay.
That was actually the sport I was best in, to be honest with you.
Which makes sense, because boxing and baseball are both very cerebral sports.
Yeah.
What position?
So I was a pitcher, catcher, shortstop.
Okay.
Yeah.
He played all the action spots.
Exactly.
All the action, because I feel like baseball is boring. So, but you played the positions that's actually exciting because. That's all the action. Outfielders be chilling. They be back there blowing bubble gum, chilling. They be chilling, man.
2 hours. They
be chilling.
Yeah,
man.
but listen though. Say you get one ball your way in the 6th inning, and you got someone on second base, and you're slacking.
Gotta be ready.
That could be the difference between the winning run or, you know.
How do you not pull a hamstring? Because you've been sitting there chilling the whole time.
You gotta keep yourself loose.
Yeah.
You gotta keep yourself loose. That's why you see guys just kind of looking like they're just in space, just keeping their body loose. Now, I will say this about baseball, and I've actually learned this with my daughter playing T-ball. And actually, one of the guys made a really good point. When you get your kids into baseball, T-ball, softball, whatever, it gives them a certain amount of discipline because you can, and a certain amount of focus as well. Because yes, it's true, you do not get a lot of action, but when it comes, you have to perform.
Right.
So you cannot just be off into space mentally. You have to be locked in mentally the whole time. And you might not ever get the ball. You might not ever see any action in the field. But having that focus is really good, and it teaches kids how to focus. I've watched that happen with my daughter. Man, it's amazing. She was always gonna play softball or whatever because she's been hitting the ball since she was 2. She's 4 now. But even just watching that and then hearing the confirmation from one of the other fathers, I said, yeah, she's just even to have her focus and have that discipline. I'm gonna have her in t-ball, softball,
nice.
Yeah.
I'm not a hunter by any stretch of the imagination, but I can imagine baseball players would probably be really good at hunting.
Same thing.
Because you could be out there 4, 5, 6, 7 hours and not get anything, or you might get a deer or.
So that's probably I got a little ADD, so like. So baseball didn't really.
Football is bing bing bing. Stop.
It's
bing bing bing. Stop.
And it's and like, especially and I was telling him, like we was talking about this before. I was like, bro, like. In football, as a linebacker, I had to read so many keys. I had to read a fullback, I had to read this tackle, I had to read this tight end, and I had to read these splits from this wide receiver. I had to watch the helmet of the offensive lineman. Is he coming down? Is he coming up? Is it a pass? Is it a run? And all that stimuli helped me, like, it like, kept me calm. Like, I was like, okay, I read this, I remove here, I react here, I put this hand up, take this jab step, or open this hip. Like, like that kind of worked for me. That's probably why I love fighting. I love things that's like all about action and pace and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
But also paying attention to detail is something you like. And that's what I like to stress to anybody I deal with when it comes to boxing. If you don't have the ability to pay attention to detail, there's only so far you're going to go. And it's not that far.
But I don't understand why you wouldn't want to pay attention to detail in boxing when you can literally get punched in the face.
You would be surprised. You would be surprised.
Like, why would you not want to pay attention and protect yourself?
You would be surprised, though, man. A lot of people think boxing is a one-way street. I can punch you. They don't think about getting punched.
You're going to get punched back. You're going to get punched back.
That's the last thing that crosses their mind. Ironically, right? But you have to pay attention to detail. So even if you listen to, because I'm a person that pays attention to detail with everything. So even just listening to James talk about all these things that he's looking at before the ball is even snapped, I'm thinking about how well he pays attention to detail. Like, is the helmet up? Is the helmet down? How many fingers are in the ground? You know, things like that. That's paying attention to detail, and of course being good at your position.
Yeah, because you can know what's happening, but if you don't have the ability to stop it,
right?
Makes no difference.
Exactly.
Or the wheel. So like the thing about I was listening to this interview and it was talking about will and how you develop it and build it. The guy said the name, he called it, it's an actual part of the brain that's in your brain that's kind of like it's like the will builder. And so it actually can grow and it can actually shrink. So will is an actual thing in your brain that can be built. I don't know the name of that brain part.
Yeah, it's
and I probably can't spell it or say it.
The guy talking about it, I think I saw the same video where he's saying that you can build up your will by doing things that you don't want to do. And continuing to do that
will build that part of your brain up. You can actually build your will. And so in football, it's 2 different times you have to build your will for sure. And that's on contact and conditioning. Cause contact is once you hit somebody bigger than you and y'all both running full speed, that hurts. It hurts, bro. And you both run each other full speed. You got to hit a lineman. It hurts. But my will is built because I wanted to win that battle. So I always had the opportunity. I'm like, yo, I want to win this battle, and I'm going to make this tackle. I'm going to make this play, and I'm going to shut down. I want my team to win. So because I want to win, I got to do what sucks. And being a linebacker, you always have to take on fullbacks, tight ends, and linemen. 9 times out of 10, they're bigger than you. You know what I'm saying? So you had to always run into them full speed. And so the first couple of times, you'd be like, shit. But after a while, you'd be like, I'm about to kill this big motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like that your will is built. And I didn't know, I obviously didn't know the science behind that. But now I know, like, okay, that's how I was able to do that. Conditioning. You don't want to do the conditioning, bro. Like the conditioning test for football, when I got to college, I played the Akron before with the Hampton. It was 16 110s. 16 110s doesn't sound that bad, but it's timed.
Yeah.
So you got to run 16 110s. You get a 30 to 45 second break. And I swear, man, them 45, they did not give us 45 seconds. It was like once this group was done, that group was done. Hey, on the line, linebackers, God dang it. Let's go.
When I was doing track, we used to do 100s, we used to do 200s, and your recovery was the walk back, and you had a certain time. So if you did your 200 and say you did it in 28 seconds, you couldn't go slower than 28 seconds. So you didn't want to go out and try to like, you know, be a hero because you knew you had 7 more. You know what I mean? So we used to do
Ooh, that's a mental game because it's like you don't want to run too slow either because you want to get better.
Yeah.
Right.
So it really gave you the freedom to decide
how good you want to be.
How much did you want to push yourself?
I like that.
Oh, I
So
like
we
that.
would do the walk backs or I'm telling you, those walk backs used to be like, boop.
You right back at it.
Yeah.
So, what was your race?
So I did short sprints.
Okay.
I was not very good in the open sprints, but I excelled in the relay. It took me some time to get to my top speed, so I did better at the 4x1 when I was in college.
Okay.
We almost made it to nationals. We almost qualified for nationals.
This is at B-Dub, right?
It's at BW, Walden Wallace, yeah. And the year that we had like our best shot, I had really bad shin splints and I fractured my foot. And then our anchor leg, something happened. I think he had a concussion or he was also the running back for the football team. Yeah, we had
A concussion from track when he fall.
Listen, I was at an indoor meet and I saw he did. He had a concussion. I don't know what happened. He gave me the baton. When I went around the first turn,
Yeah.
I heard like ooh, and there was like a pillar right off the side of the track, in the 8th lane.
He fell.
He went like sliding. I think he hit it, but it was like a bunch of ooh and on. I never knew that could happen in the track, but yeah, we and that was my last year. That was my last year competing, running track. Good times.
Brandon, how important is running and conditioning? Speaking of track and stuff like that, how important is that for a boxer?
Top five easy.
Top 5 most important things?
Yeah, top 5 easy. Because if you can't run from somebody for a duration of the time that a fight would be, you don't have any business punching at them either. Like literally thinking about it. Like if you can't run away from somebody the whole time of a fight, you have no business trying to throw a punch at them. You'll gas out.
Oh, man.
You will gas out. I watch it happen all the time. That's how we know, okay, this guy ain't doing his road work.
Yeah.
He's not on the rope. He's not he's not running. Legs is giving out.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. Now mind you, the running, you can listen to some of the old school guys. Some of them didn't run, but they would get their conditioning with a lot of sparring. So they would practice how they compete all the time. But for the most part, you want them legs strong. So you gotta run. I always say we gotta run, we gotta jump that rope.
I'm curious how you initially assess someone who comes in, whether it was their parent that signed them up or someone that comes in like, yeah, I want to, box, blah blah blah. How like especially your first maybe the first encounter. How are you assessing them?
I try to have conversations with them just to kind of see what their thought processes are when I ask them certain things. I want to see, of course, if they pay attention to detail, if they can listen, because some people hear you a lot. A lot of people hear you. A lot of people don't listen, and I always come back to it and saying, well, if you were a good listener, I wouldn't have to keep repeating myself. Right? So I listen because I listen very well, so I like to see if they listen. Then we just kind of see how they move. I try not to say, okay, this person is the one that's going to have it, or this person is never going to get it. I never want to go to the extreme. Always kind of am very fair. Let's approach this thing from the middle. But if I got a person that just has a really difficult time processing information, I say, okay, this one's gonna be some work. Yeah.
Question. So, like, speaking of work, now I've seen you like push your clients to like the max. Like, I don't know like exactly because I'm still training, but I'm watching how you kind of like will push them. You'll have them going rounds and rounds and rounds. You basically you'll make them go until like they stop, basically. You know what I'm saying? And y'all see how calm Brandon is. I don't know who this guy is, because when he boxing and when he training his guys, one, he has a lot of control over his punches because he's not unleashing, unloading on the guys. He has a lot of control of like the velocity that he's hitting these guys with, but he's challenging them, like pushing them, right? I see him go rounds and rounds and rounds, and they're getting tired, and he been the main one in the thing. So like, how do you get guys to basically buy into that type of rigorous training?
By showing them that I can do it. Because if I can do it, you can do it. It's really that simple. Because especially if you're younger than me, that's when I get real hard on them. I'm like, man, dude, like, I got 12, 15, 16 years on you, dude. You better do this. But to be very fair, it's about survival. I like to always tell people, because I also personal train as well. So my thing is, if this was a life or death situation, would you really stop? So that's how I spar. I say, if somebody had a gun in my head and said, hey man, if you don't go out there for this next round, I'm gonna blow your head off, would I really say, you know what, go ahead and pull the trigger?
I ain't got it, just blow me away.
Figure it out.
I'm gonna go. So, mind you, over the years of this practice, I don't have to give myself that talk anymore. But through action and working with my guys and girls, I show them that, like, this is life or death. Like, what if you was, locked off in the alley somewhere and you had to fight me?
Yeah.
And mind you, this is something you want to do, so show me you want to do it. So we usually go until one of us say, okay, let's go be it. We might go a couple more rounds or whatever, but there's been times, and James has even seen it, like I've cut the clock off. We'll go until somebody have to sit down. But it's more mental preparation than anything, because, 9 times out of 10, they'll never fight that long. We know that. But I want you to be ready to be able to fight that long if it was a life or death situation. So a lot of my philosophy or approach to it is survival. You got to be able to survive.
So my experience in working with coaches of combat sports is that they're very calm, like for the most part, but it's like an inner beast in them. Like at Strong Style, we had this guy named Marcus. Marcus is so cool, so calm, chill, like just like yourself, very cool, very calm. But I remember one time Jessica was fighting. She had just gotten to the UFC and she was fighting a girl, and she was choking the girl, and the girl wouldn't tap. And Marcus was like, drag her fucking face across the cage. And he was like, I'm like, Marcus, he like, drag her fucking face. And she drug her face, and that girl started tapping immediately. And I'm like, that's an inner beast. How are you guys able to tame, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you can speak for yourself. How are you able to tame your inner beast and, you know what I'm saying, and be able to still unleash it when you need to?
Man, it's discipline, man. That's the thing that I feel like not only did boxing save my life, it taught me a lot of discipline. Discipline in knowing what you're capable of, but giving enough for the situation. If we got some guys that we don't really too much care about, maybe more of that beast comes out because there's no reason to pull it back.
Yeah.
But when you're working with, your people, my job isn't to overwhelm them, it's to help learn. It's to get you mentally prepared, physically prepared, but it's to help you learn at the same time. So really the boxing is a discipline, it's a lifestyle. It's a lot of things you have to change lifestyle-wise to have any success in boxing, whether it be minimum or higher. And the guys that have the most success usually have the most amount of discipline as well.
I just had this conversation just recently with a buddy of mine who is he's from Cleveland. He's got a boxing background, and and we both work in an elementary school in Cleveland. You get a good mix of kids, like background wise now. But I remember him saying that he was just thinking like, man, my life would have been so different had I been introduced to boxing at a younger age, and the amount of trouble. And he was like bouncing from school to school, and he'll tell you he's got a decorated past. He's seen a lot. He's experienced a lot, but I mean he's at a good place now. But the amount of like the reach for someone like you who gets a chance to work with kids, even if it's a couple kids who you could have completely changed the trajectory of their life because they're learning. You know, I did sports growing up, but I don't know when I actually learned like the concept of discipline and focus. But with boxing, like you said, it's like if you don't learn those quickly, you can get your head knocked off quickly. So those are like extremely key, especially at a young age, to learn. I think it's great what you're doing.
Yeah, it's an immediate consequence. That's the beauty about boxing.
Right.
Immediate consequence. You know, it's an immediate consequence, and or if you think about the lack of discipline, and like I've had conversations with Jay plenty of times when a guy isn't in control of his emotions, we already got you.
Yeah.
Already got you because you're not disciplined in your emotions. You're gonna react off emotions instead of logic. And anybody that's in the boxing game will tell you, man, boxing is a thinking man's game. It looks brutal. It looks, you know, you hitting people all upside the head. Man, it's a thinking man's game. Very much so.
That was a good point you brought up there, Chad. Brandon, do you apply what you learned? Because I feel like, I mean, myself, I know the little time that I did spend, you know, fighting and sparring or whatever. Do you apply those certain lessons to your everyday life that you know what I'm saying, you learn from the ring? Or
100%. 100%. There's so many ways you can approach that, but to keep it brief, I can make anything in life just about relate to boxing in some type of way. So a lot of the folks that I work with, they say, you know, I'm good with like metaphors and, you know, making things relate. So whatever your background is, and you have an issue, question, whatever it is, when it comes to boxing, I can make them relate. So I just take it and flip it on the other side, and I practice it in life. And the cool thing about boxing is you can find out a lot about a person and how they live outside the gym when they start boxing. You find a lot about them. Like you can find out, of course, if somebody's not a good listener, if they're not a very disciplined person, if they lack the focus or whatever, you can say, oh, okay, well, this is a person that probably likes to call off from work a lot. Or this is a person that likes to yell at their kids a lot. You want to know how? Because they're not used to taking order. They're not used to taking any direction. They're used to a one-way street, just like I told y'all earlier, with how order or direction or a command is supposed to go, right? So yeah, man, 100%.
Because I would say, my first time sparring, I wanted to give up. Like I was like, oh man, 30 seconds in, I wanted to quit. I'm like, yo, bro, I'm exhausted. Because I think I had like an adrenaline dump or whatever. Like I felt like you probably was so tense and you in there sparring it. You know what I'm saying? I was so tense. Like the first 30 seconds, it's like, coach, coach, I need to take a break. He was like, bruh, he said, you can't. Basically, like you can't. He said, if you quit now, you will quit in everything you do for the rest of your life. And I was just like, so you either have this minute 30 seconds that's left, or you got the rest of your life to be a quitter, and you have to know that you quit and just quit. And I was like, damn, and that kind of like resonated with me, like, and that stuck with me, bro. Like I'll never forget that moment, and I think that like anybody who does that or does boxing, any type of combat or anything that takes or requires a gut check, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You learn about yourself, and then you can apply that to whatever. Like, I know you talked about it, bro, but, you know, I'm putting you on blast. You know what I'm saying? You say you're going to do this marathon with me, too.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so the thing about, man, let me tell you the reason why I rock with Jay is a lot of it is because even what he just said now, like just things resonating with him, man. very motivational dude, man. He don't even realize it. It's like, I swear it's on accident. But I got another client that she ran a half a marathon, and I said, shit, man, you know, because I'm already used to motivating her. She ran a half a marathon, run a full marathon, and she went on and did it. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I kind of was like, all right.
Where you at? Where you
In
at
the
now?
back of my mind, I'm like, man, I kind of owe her a marathon. So the best thing about my man here, he's like, man, you know, I hate running. I'm gonna do a marathon, and he's serious. I'm watching him put in the work. Everything he's saying he's gonna do it. So I'm like, man, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do it too. I don't know exactly when because he's already training for the Cleveland Marathon, but I will run a marathon this year in 2024.
Let's get it.
You got it. You got it on there.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
Speaking of,
And he's the type of person, he said it, he gonna do it. So we gonna do it.
So several years ago, James and I used to train together.
Okay.
And I remember one particular day, he roundhouse kicked my quad.
I was just playing with you.
He said he was just playing, but my quad did not play around.
No, I didn't play.
So, what would it take for you and James to get in the ring and pay back for me?
Why you want this man? Hey, that's not how that works. That's not how that
Because
works.
I was a sitting duck. I was minding my own business.
That's not how that works.
He knew good and well.
I was playing with you, bro.
I had nothing to do. I had nothing to do with what he just did, what he did, and he knew I couldn't do anything back without significant.
Well, he didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
You know, you might have.
Oh, he knew that.
No, I didn't. I just was playing with you, bro.
That my leg, Charlie horsed in such a way. I was like, oh.
So let me tell you this. I will say, experience aside, they do make weight classes for a reason. And I'm very respectful of weight classes. This is a guy that has at least 50 pounds on him. At the least.
And I appreciate that, man. But just know, I would never test this man. I would never test this man, bro. I don't want no smoke.
Man, that might be a good.
Smoke, man.
Might be an on
But
location
Chad,
episode.
but because you just said, hey, we got to. Whatever you feeling about towards me, we can settle it.
Do like
man.
a celebrity, a non-celebrity.
We can
death
settle
match.
it, man. We can settle it. Whatever you want to settle, man. Why you want to fight with me, bro?
Do it. We
He said he been holding on to that.
He holding on to
listen,
it. I ain't know he felt this type of
calling
way.
you out right now. Ping pong. You play ping pong?
I actually do.
I'm about to say
I love
baseball
ping pong.
background. You got to play
I
ping
love
pong.
ping pong.
Okay.
What about pickleball? That's the new thing.
So
right?
I've never played pickleball.
That's the new what? Everybody on that pickleball shit.
I think this might be my year to get into pickleball. I picked up a tennis racket for the first time in years this past summer. And then my buddy was like, my buddy just moved back from Florida. He said, man, everybody plays pickleball.
Everybody, bro.
It doesn't matter what you look like, you know.
And that's the one with the short racket, kind of like a.
It almost looks like a paddle.
Right, paddle.
And the court is like the tennis court, but it's condensed.
Gotcha.
So it's like cut in half on both sides. And yeah, I've never played it,
But
it's
some
like the next
people have
thing.
been getting injured on that pickleball court though. There's a lot of
I've heard of like
a lot of senior
pickleball
citizens.
injuries.
Yeah, a
People
lot of
saying there's
seniors.
specific pickleball injuries, which I don't know what that could be, but.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Have you suffered any significant injuries, whether it be boxing or baseball?
So you want to know what's crazy? Man, my first year or second year ever playing baseball. We're warming up. Everybody's throwing, playing catch, whatever. And for whatever reason, this guy throws the ball from at least, now mind you, I was a kid, so it seemed like it was 50 miles away. But it's probably like 100 feet away. Hit me in the eye with a baseball. And that mark stayed with me for like 2 years, man. And it fractured my orbital,
Dang.
Yeah, it did all that. Mind you, I'm 8 years old, 9 years old or something like that. So that was the first ever sports injury I had. But luckily throughout all of middle school, high school, travel teams, boxing, I've never really had major injuries. Now, I've had a broken nose before. I actually fought in the gloves with a broken nose. That's what's crazy. I fought in gloves with a broken nose. One of my guys, sparring guys, well, he's big time in my eyes, but his name is Thomas Matisse. He hit me with a right hand so goddamn clean that I can remember. It was like he said, I felt that through my elbow. I said, what the hell do you think I felt? But
Thomas Matisse, is he still undefeated?
No, he's not undefeated, but he's definitely doing his thing. He fights some that dude.
Cause he got a belt right now, don't he?
Yeah, he fights some tough guys, man.
Yeah, he does.
Man, that's a guy I really respect. Coming out of Cleveland area.
Bro, I'm talking about a grinder. I seen this dude bagging groceries, bruh. Bagging groceries, bro. To see him bagging groceries while he was fighting, trying to come up.
Yeah.
He was bagging groceries, bro. And then next thing you know, I seen him Louis Vuitton belt. I said, okay, I see it.
That man worked hard, man.
I was like, let's get it.
I was fortunate enough to be up under their gym for a couple years, and I watched him, Montana Love, Raynell Williams. I watched these guys grind, and that was real motivation. That was a pivotal point in my career, so to say, too, because I'm on the tail end. I'm watching these guys, put in all this work, and I'm like, damn, I gotta keep up with this.
Yeah.
And, it's making you think like, man, should I stray away, whatever? But man, I really gotta really tip my hat off to them guys, man, because they really grind for what they achieve, man.
That's what's up. I love to see it. I
was fortunate enough to see it, man.
Yeah, you right there.
Very fortunate enough to see it.
Yeah. That's dope. It's because you know what, you can tell championship mentality in people. You can see it in them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was very fortunate when I was a strong style. Stipe was there.
Yeah.
Stipe Miocic, the first heavyweight, like one of the who probably for a while was the best heavyweight in the UFC. When I tell you this dude was scary, bro. I'm talking about scary. Man, he about 6'4", 6'5". Biggest head you ever gonna see. Big broad shoulders. And I'm talking about, man, you probably can attest to this, Brandon. He one of them guys, like when he punch you, it make a sound.
Yeah,
it's like
sure.
doom, doom, doom,
like
doom, doom.
Bag.
It sound like he hitting when he hit people, bro. It be like boom, it be loud. I was like, ooh.
He was probably going into burning buildings with all equipment.
I'm like, hey, bro. One time I had a chance to spar Stipe, right? I had a chance to spar, so that's how you happen. So this day I'm killing. I didn't drop 2 dudes. I'm feeling real good. I'm feeling real good. So it usually be like, once you get your 3 or 4 rounds in, you done for the day. Like, that's it, right? But I was feeling fresh. Stipe came in, just actually feeling good. He's like, yo, he's ready. He said he's ready, so he stepped up. I was like, that's my time.
You had a chance, man.
You had a chance.
I did my 3 rounds. I'm out of here. Hey, and the dude he sparred at the dude that he beat the dog shit out of him. I was like, James, you a smart nigga today.
You play that back.
Bruh, cause Stipe, cause I think people sleep on him. Like, he has good footwork. So like he punched dude, boom, boom with a combo, spent around. Dude was about to fall. He hit him again to stand him up. I said, God damn. I said, damn. I said, ooh, yeah, bro.
He's operating on another frequency.
Yeah, he was like, pop, 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 pop. Dude was about to fall. He's like, hit him again, slid his ass up. I said, whew. I said, you a smart nigga today, James. Yeah, man, listen, bro. I respect the game. Like, I'm not going to act like I'm just the world-class ass beater. I ain't no bitch. But I just was like, yo, I'm not at that level yet. I'm not at a level to be sparring with Stipe.
Man.
Yeah, it's levels, bro. He didn't even, when he boxed spar, he used to have to bring in professional boxers to spar with him. Like, like, it was cool. But back to the point, like, I feel like championship dudes have championship mentality, and you probably can see it. You can tell by their discipline. You can tell by their work ethic. They're usually the last guys in the gym. They're usually somewhere watching film. They usually just have certain qualities about them, you know what I'm saying, that you see differently. Like, what stood out to you about those guys that you were with? Because you mentioned some champions. Like, so what stood out to you about how they prepared and how they did their thing?
Man, they approached it like it was a job, man. And that's what you got to respect that, because you know how many people don't want to go to work. So I know it was days where they didn't want to be there, but you couldn't tell because they're gonna operate like, look, man, this is what I do. See, people throw that term around, man. This is what I do around. Like I really watch these guys. Like this is what they do. So you know, just the way they approached every single thing that we had to do, like even just jumping rope, they didn't shortchange themselves with anything. They didn't take anything for granted. No minute was wasted in the gym. So I said, look, man, if this is what it takes to have some success, and I'm not saying I'm gonna be this world champion or anything like that, but I at least gotta practice what they practice. So being able to see that day in and day out, you adopt that aura of approaching this like you have to do it. But it's something that you obviously are volunteering to do it. Nobody's making them do anything, but they really approached it like this is what I have to do. So definitely tip my hat off to them guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you got any other questions?
I'm still waiting to get an answer on this whole match. This
I mean, we got to answer, bro. We not about to have no revenge match.
We went from that to pickleball, and I'm not really sad.
You got to fight your own. Brandon, don't you got to fight your own battles?
You do have to
Fight your own battles, bro. So if you want to,
yeah, but sometimes someone needs to come through on behalf and pay.
But I don't understand why you trying to do that. No, bro.
It could be a moneymaker.
Trying to pay for an assassin.
Yeah, you trying to pay the assassin.
Sells tickets.
Yeah, bro, you dirty, bro.
We can raise money for the youth.
Dirty, man. That's dirty.
No, they don't want to see us too fight.
Oh yeah, man. We trying to build something. Speaking of which, me and Brandon are actually collaborating on a project together. Since you're trying to divide and conquer, we got.
I'm not trying. I'm building up.
Oh, he's building up the
I'm building up. Yeah.
There you go.
Nah, bro.
So there's a bigger picture here. I don't know you see it.
I don't see it. So
yeah, no, I'm not talking to you.
This is what we doing. So Brandon and I, we decided to come together and start a class at the gym. I think his style of boxing, he's very cerebral. He's a great coach. He knows what he's doing. I think my CrossFit background, my conditioning background, we're going to combine those two things. Basically, you're going to do boxing with him, conditioning with me. We're going to switch, work with the kids and stuff like that, man. Not kids, but kids and adults. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're available. But we decided to make this a class. We're going to have a demo February 3rd. So, Brandon, can you tell the people, just give them a little preview of what they're going to be getting?
Man, I've been approached with doing a class or the concept of doing a class for at least 3 or 4 years. And, you know, as a true boxing coach, like I always tell people, I'm not just a guy holding mitts. Like I coach. I talk about strategy, the conditioning part, everything that a coach should provide. And I just was always so turned off from the idea of a class. So my man Jay said, look, man, you know, we should get together, you know, do our class thing. And I said, man, you know what? Man, that's probably the best thing he could have told me, is because now I don't have to focus on the particulars of boxing, right? Man, we about to get people in dog shape right now to be able to do, like he was saying, like, man, if somebody wanted to spar 15 rounds, okay, let's make sure you're in dog shape for it, right? Because I'm watching my man, he's a beast in the gym, right? So obviously I'm a beast at what I'm doing is what I'm been told. Man, we combine this together, what people can expect for this, man, I'm not gonna lie, man, it's no pity pat. We're gonna make it user friendly still, but I'm telling you, man, this is gonna be something where it's gonna really test to see if you really want to be in shape or not.
Yeah, Chad.
That's
so why don't you show up to fight camp?
Yeah, fight camp, man. The demo's going February 3rd.
I'll get to you.
I'm telling you, man. Like from what I've seen that this man can do and how I can help, it's not gonna be a class like it. I can tell you that.
Nice. And that's February 3rd. Is this the same, similar with Bridget?
No, me and Bridget is something totally different. Yeah.
Yeah, we had same gym, right? You guys.
Yeah.
So
I know Bridget.
we had Bridget on the show last week, and she's amongst many things, she's a yoga yoga instructor.
Hey man, I got kids.
We said we would go to her yoga class.
Okay.
How was the class, James?
I didn't go. I forgot.
Oh, okay. All right. He's
That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to bring this up, set me up. Yeah, I forgot, which is cool. You know what I'm saying?
I started doing yoga about 2 weeks ago.
Okay. All right.
Actually,
how you like it?
So it's hard as hell, right?
It is hard.
Yeah, Brandon was doing it, so he started doing it
I was
too.
actually doing yoga yesterday. Yeah.
I feel like every class I'm going to is hot yoga, and I
She said
sweat.
she kept it at 87.
It was hot in there. Matter of fact, she didn't put me on blast, but she did like she addressed the heat
Okay.
for me in front of the whole class. She's like, yeah, "It's hot in here, ain't it, Chet?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I was dripping. For the first time today, I was able to do a particular stretch that I haven't been able to do. I'm not even sure if I ever was able to do it, and I did it today. So I could see a quick benefit. And I will say, like, any sport you're doing, whether you're doing yoga, whether you're just doing daily stretching or whatever you're doing, that's so important, especially in not just maintaining your strength, but to limit or even prevent injury.
Yeah.
You know, I think I probably dealt with a lot of knee and hip issues, especially with you running out.
Yeah, I got to incorporate at least one day of yoga. I got to.
I mean,
I felt because today I felt my hips, my knees. I was like, oh, yeah, I see now. Now I see what Chad talking
we
about.
got I don't know if you're familiar with like the world of CrossFit. He's retired now, but like the Michael Jordan of CrossFit was this guy named Matt Frazier, and he had an Olympic lifting background before he got into CrossFit. But he would do a day every week, like 8 hours, like a work day full of stretching and recovery. Which is, he would do a full day, and it would be, stretch. It would mix in different things, but it was all for recovery.
But he needed though, because he trained 3 times a day.
Yeah.
So he would get up in the morning and do like, I think, what did he say he did? Like his running workouts in the morning. Afternoon he'd do track workouts, and then so he did track workouts in the morning. Afternoon he'd do like a CrossFit workout, and in the evenings he'd do heavy lifting. That's a lot.
The guy you just sent me today, or not today, maybe a day or two ago.
The BSN owner.
Yeah, and his name is escaping me right now.
Bro, he's so jacked, bro. His body's crazy.
I think he was at the time. He was the first person to ever, I want to say, run a sub 5 minute mile in the same day that he back squatted 500 plus pounds.
I'm doing it. I see. I already said I'm gonna do a power competition and I'm gonna do this marathon. So it's not.
You know what else he does?
Now I gotta
he cycles too.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get him in.
I'm gonna do it. I'm do it, man. When the weather break. So, Brandon. So like you and I, we had these conversations a lot of times. I'm gonna kind of like now we are in. We can get a little real. So. Let's get real. Let's get to it. So you do a lot. You work a lot with males and females. You know what I'm saying? Males and females. How are you able to communicate and coach female clients? Because I know it's different than working with male clients. How are you able to work with them differently?
Man, so the thing is, I give you both sides because there is a side of me that still treats the women like I treat the men. I don't treat a woman like a man, but I treat them both the same, right? But there's another side of actually knowing the difference in how they receive things emotionally is when it's like, okay, now it's time to pull back just a little bit. Now with guys, I don't pull back. If anything, I try to go farther, right? But with women, I get them to that point, and right before they're about to break, that's when I pull back because I don't want to break them. To be honest with you, I don't want to break anybody. But I will say, coaching women, I enjoy coaching women is because they they pay attention to form and detail.
Yes, I will say that too. Yep.
And James can probably attest to this as far as like, you know, being a personal trainer. Like form is everything when you're exercising.
Yeah.
And when you have a woman that wants to do it the right way, I'm talking about it's picture perfect form, squat form, shoulder press form, whatever it is. And it's the same thing with boxing. Like I got my ladies, they approach it like, okay, I'm not approaching it with a male ego. Show me what you know. Okay, cool. Let me show you what I know. And they do it to a T, right? But there is, being that it's a combat sport, there is a certain amount of, how can I say it? I don't want to use the wrong word, but there's a certain thing you have to have where you can't let you being a woman get in the way. So I treat them the exact same.
Pride.
Right.
Yeah, okay, maybe. I can see that, yeah.
Yeah. So I definitely would say I'm not that guy that panders to women, because I'm not approaching it with a bargaining chip. I need you to be just as much of a dog as these guys, and I want to see you dog out some women too. And if you dog out a man, that's even better. I've had that happen before. One of my ladies dogged out a man, and it made him feel like, damn, like what's going on? Like I could see it in his face, but in return,
He probably hated women anyway.
Oh,
He
well,
probably hated.
maybe, but
For him to get to that point,
I'll tell you this though, he came back full circle and said, you know what, I'm ready to listen to you some more.
Yeah, I bet.
You know,
Yeah, I bet.
because now if you had any type of macho man eagleness in you,
It's gone.
it's gone.
It's gone.
Because
which to your point earlier, how boxing has those immediate consequences.
immediate. All you had to do was listen to what
Yeah.
I was talking about.
Yeah.
That's the thing, because the thing about, like I said, with women, they're gonna listen. When they really want to listen, they're gonna listen, and they're gonna do it the exact same way that you showed them. So that's why I enjoy working with the ladies as far as boxing. You know, he's seen a couple of my ladies that compete, and shoot, they in there mixing it up with the guys. But you cannot impose the physicality on the ladies because we are different. But I do feel like we can be equal in the mind. So let's push our minds to that next level.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, the one thing I don't like about training women is always they have some, not always, but a lot of times they have this lame boyfriend, spouse, or somebody that
Yeah,
interferes that always got something to say about their training. Like that's the one thing I hate, and they just be like speaking negative or being against them, or they feel like they can train them. I'll be like. I'll be like, bro, like your dude cannot train you better than me. Like, don't even get that twisted. Like, I don't know what he's talking about. He's probably insecure or something. But like, I don't even want to say that. I just be like, man, just know that I'm certified. I know what I'm doing, and you're in good hands. Like, and if he feels some type of way, you should tell him to come up here now, and he can come train with you. Cause I'll be like,
challenge.
yeah, I'll be like, first of
do
all,
a trainer boy versus.
no, I don't do that. I don't want to do that. I
It can be
don't want to do that. Man. I
Remember-
don't want to do that.
First of all, it's a joke.
I know,
First
but
of
I
all.
just know, man, these dudes be so
You
sensitive.
but listen though. It's been done. Listen to me. Don't you guys remember the show Average Joes?
Yeah.
When they would have these guys coming in and they would be playing against professional athletes.
And getting smashed.
Exactly.
Yeah, getting smashed. And I don't even want to do that. But I just feel like, you need to just trust the process, man. Trust that, like first of all, your woman get on your nerves.
Imagine.
So you know she coming in here getting up, and y'all doing something that she want to do.
Right.
I'll make her do something she don't want to do. So you know she getting on my nerves. I don't want this lady, man. I don't want this lady, man.
And it's always like with guys like that, it's like, all right, if you feel like she don't need a personal trainer, then you shouldn't even have get to that point anyway. If you're so good at, oh, I can do it, or you should have tried it. You shouldn't have let her find out that, oh yeah, this guy Jay know what he's talking about. Or he know what he's doing.
I need a trainer. Yeah, man.
Yeah, you should have been nipped that in the bud if that was the case. But they don't have the consistency we do. We get up at the crack every day.
Every day.
I'm curious what some of these guys are saying.
Man, they just really just be derogatory and negative towards them. And they feel like they can do what we can do. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be like,
That's coming to you, or is that from the woman?
it's from the woman. The woman usually reports it, which I'll tell you
That's
guys.
a grain of salt too.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
That's a
But-
grant's a lot of grains, for a
Right.
fact.
Yeah, but I would just tell, that's a good point. But I would just always tell the guys. But I have heard guys literally come up to me and say, "Hey, my girl can't train with you or can't come to your gym." I said, why, bro? You be working out with your shirt off. I said, bro, I work out with my shirt off. I'm not sitting there with your wife with my shirt off, training her, like rubbing her back, like good job.
Yeah,
Like what you think this is?
No.
Think this is? I'm not. You work out your shirt off? Yeah, I'm working out. Do you see? You think your wife can keep up with my workouts? Your girl keep up with my workouts? Like no.
If either one of you had, I know this answer for you, at least for the CrossFit side of things. Have you guys had couples that you've trained?
Yeah,
I've had it. It never lasts though. It never lasts.
couples be hard, huh?
Yeah, couples is real hard, man. It never lasts.
Cause they be competing against each other,
Yeah.
and then it be create something like I don't know. It's weird, bro.
You don't want to be in the middle of that. Is what I'm saying.
Definitely
Yeah,
dope.
yeah.
Definitely dope, man. All right. We're gonna let you go with this one, bro. So, what advice would you give a young person or anybody who's trying to get into this game as far as like boxing, coaching, and personal training? Because like you're a hybrid. Like most guys, they either do one or the other, but you have a hybrid approach. So how are you? So what advice you give someone who wants to do the same thing or similar to what you're doing?
Oh man, my first piece of advice would be: don't give anybody anything that you're not willing to do yourself. You can't be that guy and try things out on people. If you're not willing to do it yourself, don't even bother crossing over into this lane. But to keep advice in general, man, if somebody really wants to get into it, just know that you can. Take the time to learn, read, learn the body, learn different exercises. Another thing that I actually would say with anybody, if you want to learn something, man, sit up under somebody that knows it already. You know,
Man, preach, man.
It's no shame in saying, okay, this person knows more than me, so let me just sit back and listen. You know, this is real cliche. Two ears, one mouth, man. Listen twice as much as you speak, and also with the eyes, watch. So that's just that paying attention to detail thing. So if this is something you want, the responsibility you want with teaching or training, really, you have to really want to help people genuinely, not just approach it as a moneymaker or this is just a way I'm gonna put food on my table. Like, you really have to want to help people, and that really starts with before you have the idea of when to train. I don't think people that don't want to see people win will ever make good trainers, because you have a lot of people that can work out like a mug. And I'm talking about they're killing it in the gym for themselves, and they can't train somebody to save their life because they approach things or approach people like, well, I could lift 500 pounds. You supposed to be able to do it right now too. Man, it's their first day, man. Let them crawl before they walk before they run. It's a process. You got to have a lot of patience with people and dealing with different personalities. And you know, if you're a person that gets easily ticked off, man, that game ain't for you, because you gonna have people that are gonna test you mentally. But I say, man, be a person that's genuine and really wanting to see people win, because that's one thing that I can truly say about myself and everybody else at the gym. We work at the Vault. Man, everybody wants to see everybody win. Like, there's plenty of times where somebody's client is over there kind of struggling, and then another trainer say, hey man, you know, kind of give them a little pat, like, come on, like, let's go. You know, I'm not getting any money from this person. This person is my client, but I want to see them win. They're up under our house, so I want to see them win, and I want to see people win, period. Like, anybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't throw any shade on what I got going on, because it's not going to get in the way. I'm already striving for what I'm striving for anyway.
Yeah. Well, we want to see you win. And matter of fact, that's it's one of the biggest reasons why we wanted to create this platform for you and for a lot of people we've been blessed to have on the show, is to spotlight you. And you're doing a lot of great things. We appreciate what you're doing in the city. We appreciate the example you're setting, the opportunity that people can learn, not just getting involved in boxing and taking it however far they want, but some of those key principles that will benefit anyone beyond the realm of the ring is, discipline, focus, being able to listen, being slow to speak, slow to anger, even just the idea of the immediate consequence.
Yeah.
I think that's something key that I took for folks that, again, want to be more connected to what you're doing, and learn more about the challenge you guys are doing on February 3rd. How can they, for our listeners, how can they follow you on social media?
QWBT 216. That's Quality Work Boxing Training. I'm not the best with social media, but I'm getting there. Like, that's another thing, is just being around guys that are really pumping their brand and just kind of crawling out of the shadows.
I think this is kind of like side note topic. I think that we need to set up something where we, as trainers at the Vault, maybe pay or pitch in and get us some social media help. Like, we need somebody to do our recording and videos and stuff for us. I think if we did that, we can we'll blow up, because
that stratosphere right there.
Because we do so much good work, we get so much results. Like, it's literally the house results. And I feel like if we really just took the time and got together and just had and paid like a social media person to come in and like work with us in a group setting, man, we can go out of here. Yeah, that's just because I'm all about collaboration. I feel like collaboration.
So let's take that as a charge. If you're listening out there, you're watching, and that might be you, or somebody, hit us up.
Yeah, hit us up. If you're willing to come work with us, man, we'll pay you.
Brandon directly if you want to reach out to our podcast page, Fresh and Fit Pod, on Instagram.
Hey, we not letting go of the name, all right? Y'all keep playing with us. We're not gonna keep playing with us, man. We ain't letting go of the name.
Stand on it.
And y'all, listen, you know what's up. You know what's up with us, bro. You know what's up with us. I let it go. Well, Brandon, man, thanks, brother, for coming through, man. Appreciate your knowledge, man, and your wealth of knowledge, and just being a great guy, great character guy, man. Thank you, bro.
Appreciate the opportunity, y'all.
Yeah, and we out just like that.
Yeah.
Cool.